Hello, everybody! It is Saturday! Who is joining us this Saturday evening? Who is in the party? I'm on time tonight. Well, actually, I guess I'm not. Thought I was on time. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? In first. Actually, I'm going to walk over here and refill my water. Hang on one second while you all chime in. I'm gonna get on the water here and get more water. Hang on one second. I'm getting more water. Who else is with us tonight? I bet Kitty is with us tonight too. Hello, let's see who's with us. Jenny Walker from Pasadena. You figured out how to be first, Jenny? But yet you weren't. You were second. You were close. You were close. Does that mean you're stalking me? Angela's with us. Rick is with us. Bailey's with us. How's everybody doing this Saturday night? Kitty's there. Now Kitty's with us. And greetings from South Carolina. 2 days till open, Rick. 2 days. The store was looking good in the pre-opening pictures, so it's looking good. Pat and the Peanut Gallery are with us. Great to have you all with us tonight on this Saturday night. Looks like some people are out there enjoying Saturday night. What are we grateful for this Saturday night? What is everybody? Hey, Beth is with us tonight. Hey, Beth, good to have you with us. Whoa. Knocking stuff over here tonight. What is everybody grateful for this Saturday night? The Johnsons have joined us. Hey, Dana and Jeff. Jenny's grateful for online sales. Nancy is with us. Even better sales than yesterday? Yesterday was the best day of the year, Kitty. Awesome. I'm so excited for you, Kitty. Did your spot on the TV station air? I know you said it was going to. I forget when you said it was going to. Jennifer's got a nice new employee that she's grateful for. Pat had good sales today. That is all very good news. Very good news. I will say cheers to that. We are margaritaing it tonight. We got to sit outside for a little bit just before coming on live. So we had Cassandra was home, and I will have to look that up, Kitty. That's great. I love publicity like that. Nancy had beautiful weather today. Yeah, we had some nice weather too. I still got the air conditioning on, but we had some nice weather. We just sat outside before it got buggy and enjoyed a little margarita to chill before I hopped on here tonight. So, yeah, that's great. I'm glad to hear what everybody's grateful for this Saturday night. It is very good. Well, we start every night. Every night we start with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is what we start the program with every night. And today is no different, so we'll start the program with that. Our good morning tonight is you were lucky enough to wake up today. So come on, socks before shoes. Let's go. I like that. You'll like the graphic that goes with it later. What do we got going on today? You know, this day before Self-Care Sunday. Tomorrow is Self-Care Sunday, so let's not forget that. I got a great recipe for you later for Self-Care Sunday. Let's see what we got here. Let's get to it. Be efficient today. Focus on, idea of the day is focus on the questions. Rather than having all the answer, focus on the questions to ask. Knowing all the answers is not what matters. What's more important as a leader is knowing what questions to ask. And I would add who to surround yourself with. Early in my career, I had this guy that I worked with who was a phenomenal, exactly, Kitty, exactly. But I had this guy that I worked with, and he was a very much like on one side he was like a used car salesman. I mean, he had the gold jewelry, he had the shirt, the button-down shirt on, and he was a short guy, short. I mean, super short. And, always, he made me look quiet. He was always loud, always the life of a party, And Howard was a character, but he could sell like there was no tomorrow. And he sold pharmacy and medical equipment, information, computer systems. And he could ask the right questions in a sale. He didn't know the answers to anything. I mean, he couldn't even turn a computer on, but he was like the best computer salesperson in the world. I mean, he could outsell anybody. I learned a lot from him. I learned to surround myself with people that do know and smarter. You didn't have to know it all. So I thought that was a great lesson here today, and certainly made me think of Howard Fixman was his name. Okay, and interesting company that was. They had phone. This is pre-cell phones everywhere. This is phones in the bathroom. So on the wall, in the bathroom, in every stall, he had a phone because he'd like to just sit and talk. I'm not making that up. So we switched from that to, hey, Joanne, great to have you with us tonight. Hope all is well with you. Sorry I did not get to you yet today, but I know I do have you in my queue. Do not worry. I have not forgotten about you. The peril of late night emails. Hey, Bonnie's made it out to Oregon. That's where I thought you were. I mean, when I saw you masked up there, I thought you were out west. That's great, Bonnie. I'm glad to have you and Park out on the farm. Farmer Kallenberg that you are. The peril of late night emails. And I've said this often. Nothing good comes from opening your email before bed. Okay? And so I avoid it. It's oftentimes, people like send me stuff after this, our lives here at night, and I don't respond to them until the next day because I turn off after this, usually, is what I do. And the peril of late night emails is both bad for you and it's bad for your company culture because people feel the urge to respond to them at whatever hour they come in. And so it is better to actually use the tools within your email. So even if you're doing emails, like I tend to catch up on things on the weekend and send a lot, it's better than actually hitting send to hit schedule. Hey, Adele is with us. I didn't see you click on there, Adele. So it's better to use the scheduling function of your email program and provider to schedule it versus bombarding with people in the after hours. And that is the more important thing. So that tends to be a great hack, and I liked that idea. I'm gonna start adopting that. I mentioned the other day, hey Karen, great to have you with us tonight. I mentioned the other day that TJ Maxx and companies were going to take a bunch of government money. They have taken a total of $187 million in government funding to offset payroll as they deferred rent, I mentioned also, for a quarter. with most of their landlords till 2022, part of their strategy to hang on to cash. So TJX, the company that is the parent of TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, has a global workforce of 17,000 of which work here in Massachusetts. So the breakdown of the payroll offset from the government, as they disclosed in their SEC filing, was $88 million in Marshall's payroll, $22 million in Home Goods payroll, $31 million in TJ Maxx Canada payroll, and $46 million in TJX International payroll. So that's kind of interesting. It doesn't specify, the SEC filing does not specify which government program they took advantage of, although I believe it is the Main Street Lending Program. And that's on top of $550 million in cost-cutting actions TJX officials took in the first quarter to stem losses due to store shutdowns prompted by the coronavirus pandemic. Hey, Kristen, how are you? Dennis joining us now. They ended their fourth quarter with $3.2 billion in cash, and has enough cash on hand to survive even if sales were down close to 50% over the last 9 months of fiscal 2021, they announced on this earnings call. And they've reopened so far 1,600 of their 4,500 stores and aims to have all their stores reopened by the end of June. At the end of the first quarter, they had about 95 million square feet of retail space. Okay, 95 million square feet. That's a lot of square footage. Dollar General, not a surprise, they had a blowout quarter, and their 2020 store remodels and expansions remain on track. They're opening another one in our area, as a matter of fact, they announced this week. Their earnings blew past street estimates. It's planning 1,000 new stores and 1,500 mature store remodels and 80 store relocations in fiscal 2020. Hey, Kristen, that's great. Opening tomorrow, 12 to 5. Awesome. Very excited for that. Hey, Julie Jankowitz joined the program tonight. Thank you, Julie. Great to have you with us. Neil Saunders, not me. Neil Saunders said that one of the reasons Dollar General did so well in the quarter was because its logistics and operations are extremely efficient and effective, which allowed it to have the right merchandise at the right time in their stores. They've paid about $60 million in bonuses to frontline workers and temporarily adjusted their benefits and leaves policies. Hey, Dad trumps Neil. Julie, it's okay. I'm all good with that. Dad trumps Neil. That is fine. I covered that. But let's talk about that, because while we talk about Dollar General here for a second, I want to talk about that because I've had that discussion with a few of you today. As a matter of fact, as we talked about sales. Some of you are reporting really good sales right now. Kitty's talked about her really good sales out of the gate here as she has reopened this weekend, and that is really, really good. One of the things you have to keep in mind, hey, Melissa's with us on the treadmill of life tonight. Hello, Melissa. Cheers. Good to have you with us. One of the things that you need to keep in mind, okay, and Dollar General's point brings this to light, is you need to keep your inventory replenishment going. Okay, you have to have a system that is effective in bringing in enough inventory. So effective that you feel comfortable with it. Okay, and I know lots of different things have been discussed, from holding inventory for 24, 48, 72 hours, to processing it immediately, to not taking consignments for a period of time. Whatever method works for you, The thing you have to be watching with that is that you're bringing in enough inventory, so you're putting enough new inventory on your sales floor, on your website, on your live sales, okay, so that you can continue to generate the sales that you hope to do. One of the most common things I see, okay, is stores not having enough inventory, and I see that in good times, okay? So coming out of bad times, it's even more important that you have enough inventory. Okay, one of the things that's helping us is that we always have a backlog. Okay, so we have been processing down our backlog as we have worked through this. Okay. Right, Kitty. Dropping the limits on how much they can bring. Being flexible with your methods. Okay. You want to be stubborn in your goals, flexible in your methods. You have to decide and work with that so that you get enough inventory in. Because some of the numbers that I'm seeing are great, but if you're not replenishing it, okay, and you're not getting the inventory in and getting it to the sales floor, okay, future months are going to be a problem. Future days, future weeks will be a problem. So it's all about the inventory. All about the inventory. I mean, I can go way back in my career in retail, but it's all about the inventory. It's about people. Don't get me wrong, because I love it's all about people. But if you don't have the inventory, you can't sell it, okay? In this business more than any other. So you need to constantly replenish that inventory, okay, with new things and have new things. Because that's part of what creates the excitement and creates the continued traffic in your stores as well. So that is super huge. And the one lesson, nothing else away from today, make sure that you take that with you, because I've had that discussion several times today about having enough inventory, because that's super important to ensure your future success. I want you to be successful today, and I want you to be successful in the future, but I don't want you to have that lag. The fact when we couldn't take it that we had extra to process is what's going to help power us through this. But I want you to be able to do it. 1 in 4 workers have filed for unemployment during this. That doesn't mean 1 in 4 Americans. That means 1 in 4 in the workforce have filed for unemployment. It's just important to be aware of that. Macy's is doing in-store temperature checks for their staffers as they come on shift, but they're doing the wellness check like the it's not Self-Care Sunday, it's the wellness checklist that we have in narts.org/resalestrong, narts.org/resalestrong. The employee self-care checklist is what they are utilizing, that basic premise of questions, but they are also then checking temperatures is what they are doing. And I found this as an interesting quote. The loyalty program of now, okay, the loyalty program of now in your stores is not earning extra points. Hey, Vina and Tiffany both joining us tonight. I hope you're not sitting across the table as you're joining us. Humor me that you're in different places. Great to have you both with us tonight. But the new loyalty program for retail today is safety. Safety is your new loyalty program. What you're doing to protect your employees, your customers, and your consignors, that is your new loyalty program. That is how you generate loyal customers and keep them with you, is safety. So the fact that you're cleaning and doing regular things is what people want to see as part of their new loyalty program. And I thought that was a great analogy for it. Not a surprise, and a lot of us have seen this just in the fact that we've all been doing everything in these times where we've been closed and without staff, but multitasking can create an emotional contagion in the workplace. Multitasking and constant interruptions at work can lead to people displaying negative emotions in addition to stress, according to a study published and led by researchers that are friends at the University of Houston. And I thought that was an interesting thing because I've covered that before, that multitasking really isn't the answer to it all. Focus, I think that's great, Kitty. They are. That people care about how often you're cleaning and what you're doing, or whether you're wearing masks or not wearing masks based on your local regulations and what they're doing. So that is important. But multitasking does lead to multi-stress. And so it is much better to take focus time and focus on what you're trying to do than to try to do 10 things at once or 3 things at once. You get much more done when you focus on one thing at a time. And that University of Houston study is no surprise. I had... Hang on a second here. I had something else. Life insurance. Life insurance isn't necessarily something you think about often, and may not even be something you're thinking about during a pandemic. But that is one of the insurance areas that is becoming a catastrophe of the pandemic. Okay? There are huge delays right now in obtaining life insurance, okay, or getting underwritten for life insurance. Part of it is getting medical documentation, okay, to get normal term life insurance. Part of it is going to be increased costs, okay, because of the pandemic and rates going up dramatically. Part of it is, if you're on the older side, they are no longer issuing policies. Where a lot of people used to issue up to 80, now they're not issuing after 70, and even younger. And they're forcing, in many cases, COVID-19 tests on top of it, and that still doesn't guarantee underwriting. So it was an interesting discussion on how the life insurance market has been upended by COVID. So if you have insurance, keep that in force. Again, I've talked about that since the beginning, how insurance is one of those things that you want to keep on paying. If there's anything to take a choice on not paying, insurance is not one of them. That's something you want to keep in force. But it was interesting to see what insurance companies are doing with that. I've heard from several of you lately on the EIDL, and that's now running, for those of you that have not gotten the EIDL yet, from application to processing to money in your bank, it's running north of 50 days right about now. So it's gotten a little further out from the 30 to 45 days. It's pushing, I'm hearing more 45 to 60 day things. And that's partly the way they've been processing and just the huge amount of applications. And they've still, with that, only processed a small portion because those are processed directly, individually by the SBA. So they are a terrific organization, but they've been given a huge task to get this processed. And it's just quite honestly overwhelming. But they are making progress on the process. Hey, Krita, great to have you with us tonight. So that is moving along, and I know many EIDLs loans that have gotten processed. Again, I'm not encouraging debt, but I am encouraging insurance, and the EIDL for a lot of us is insurance, and where we don't know what the future holds, having that money sitting in a bank for you is a bit of a safety net and a bit of insurance, and that I do encourage for you. Hey, Michelle's joining us. Hey, Michelle, I hope all is well in Ohio and sales continue to be strong. I want to... Where was my note on this? I had one note, and I'm just looking for the piece of paper on it. So we covered a lot with the PPP last night, and I had one additional note on it. Oh, that's it. That's what I wanted to cover. So one of the other things in the House bill that I thought was good, and it'll be interesting. Again, this week is the week. I think we're going to see a lot of things with the PPP this week. And again, the first loans are coming due technically yesterday, if anybody got their money on the first day, but really people got their money in the first week, was in the first wave. So next week is the end of the 8 weeks for the people that got it in the first week. And so you're going to see action by both the House and the Senate to come to a deal on extending the PPP and what to do with some of its terms. One of the things in the House terms, again, has dealt with the FTE count, so full-time employee equivalent count. And one of the things that they have allowed, so again, basic concept still is, regardless of the Senate bill or the House bill, is still the majority of the money has to be spent on payroll. The time limit's going to get extended somewhere between 16 and 24 weeks. Still, the bulk of it has to be spent on payroll during that time. But they're basically going to reduce or eliminate in some form or fashion the FTE requirement. And one of the ways they're doing that is based on business compared to the same time last year. They're adding a the House bill adds a caveat that, you know, if business didn't warrant having employees back, well, then you don't have to have them back. So that reduces your FTE count. Or if you didn't spend as much during a given period on payroll, but you're still going to have to spend over whatever they extend it to, the majority of this money on payroll. And so we'll see how the bill actually comes out, but that was a nice part of the House bill. And keep in mind, the Senate bill has not passed yet. The House bill has. Okay, so the House bill is passed with overwhelming support, and the closer the Senate bill is to it, the quicker it'll happen. And they really need to make something happen next week because the 8 weeks is up on the first loans. So, and they know it. They know they need to make something happen. So I am encouraged by that. Did you know what tomorrow is? Do you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is Self-Care Sunday. Self-Care Sunday is tomorrow. And that's the day where it's about you. You are about Self-Care Sunday. Taking time for you. Taking time to chill. Taking time to bake has been this group's big thing during this time, as we've been bakers. And I had Michelle Carson. I actually got several recipes. I'm queued up for a couple weeks here now, which is great. Hey, Russ, thanks for joining us. Are you on the treadmill, Russ? I hope you're on the treadmill. So our twins' 15th birthday, I'm guessing there is going to be a lot of bacon going on in the Johnson household in Florida. I mean, not that there isn't a lot already. And it's funny because a couple of the recipes were made today for birthdays and stuff. So you did something to your ankle. You did something to your ankle. You get the boo-boo bunny out, Russ. Okay, we'll get the boo-boo bunny out. Well, I mean, if you're stuck at your desk, Russ, you should be able to work on somebody's list of website things, I would think. We are concerned about you. And you know what'll make you feel better tomorrow, Russ? It's because tomorrow is Self-Care Sunday. You should make some of this North Douglas chocolate cake that Michelle Carson with the Alaskan Dames sent us. This will be posted to the Narts Facebook group later tonight. It'll be back over on Resale Strong by noon tomorrow. But that is our recipe of the week. From North Douglas Chocolate Cake is a recipe from Fiddlehead Restaurant in Juneau, Alaska, and it's also in the Fiddlehead Cookbook. Fiddlehead Cookbook. And prep time is only 30 minutes. After your first time, it comes together much faster. It does have an hour of baking and cooling time, but the completion time of putting it all together is pretty quick. And I know if anybody has the ingredients, the Johnsons do in Florida. So, you know, it looks, I mean, I like chocolate cake, so I'm down with that. That is tonight's recipe, this week's recipe for Self-Care Sunday for you. And that will be on the Facebook page later tonight. Krita asked a question that I missed there. Hang on one second. Let me slide back up. I got a new stand here. I got another stand coming Monday. We're trying different things here with my thing. Is the amount spent on expenses, rent, etc., not payroll forgiven too? Yes, Krita. As long as your payroll percentages are achieved, okay, under the current rules, that includes your FTEs, okay. Oh, Emerson in Boston, Mandy. That's great. Can't wait to have you out here. And her at Emerson. I had a cousin that went to Emerson, and I used to go into the city while I was, the college I went to was right outside the city, Bentley. And we used to go in and pick her up and go all over the place. Yes, the percentages, as long as you stay within the percentages, Krita, those amounts are forgiven too. The whole shebang is forgiven. So as long as you do what you're supposed to do with the loan, it will be forgiven. And I think it's going to get better next week. I think our percentages and length of times are going to get better. That is awesome. I love hearing all these birthdays tomorrow. I love that committing to college. It's such an exciting time to do that. I remember well that time. I actually waited. See, Mandy, I would have waited till tomorrow to commit. I made Rebecca. I didn't send in her acceptance to college until she could sign as an adult, and that I didn't have to sign it. So I'm like, I've already been to college. I don't need to sign this, and I want you to commit it as an adult. So I waited a day. Her birthday's the end of April. It is just awesome. Hey, Erica, great. Happy to have you join us. But we got that recipe. So if you need a cake for tomorrow, now you've got, what is it called again? North Douglas Chocolate Cake, also known as Fiddlehead Restaurant in Juneau, Alaska, which just makes it sound like a great place to visit. Long trip, but sounds like a great place. So that is your Self-Care Sunday, everybody. And if nothing else, buy them peanut butter cups. We've got lots of new peanut butter cups in. My team was restocking and sent home the outdated ones today, which is just a shame. Hate when that happens, but they're in my freezer, safe in my freezer, the outdated ones. So great to have you all with us. But that is Self-Care Sunday for you, because tomorrow is about you. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. They will be on the peanut butter cups are on the website. Yes, they are on the website. You search for CB Stuffer or peanut butter cup, and they'll come right up. But they should be live. If my website's working properly, when I refreshed the inventory, according to my software provider, when I receive new inventory, the items that were retail items that weren't on the website should go back up on the website. That is what my software provider has told me. I didn't personally check that, Julie. But if they are not there, you know somebody. And I know Jennifer's household likes them, so I know they've gotten a bunch of them already from previous shipments. But they are there. But it is great to have everybody with us tonight. But you know what? All of this, all the information, all these videos are at narts.org/resalestrong on the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store. Yes, yes they are. Hey, Russ, that's good to know that you have confidence in my software. And Julie's new website is looking and working awesome. That's great. Jennifer Dodds joined us tonight from Orlando. Did you hurt your ankle today, Russ, taking in consignments? I know you were taking your daughter's consignments to a store today. Is that when you hurt your ankle? Inquiring minds want to know. Well, you know that if you have a question that I didn't cover, you email me. Email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. Neil at ECIstores.com. That's where I answer your questions. Make sure you include your phone number because I'm going to call you. Okay, may not be tomorrow, may not be the next day, but I will call you. I got a stack. I call them all. I follow up on everything. Isn't that exciting when sales come in day and night, Julie? It is. It is. I still get people that pay with PayPal. I still get the ding on my phone. I like that ding, quite honestly. But we are here every day, live at 8 o'clock Eastern in the Narts. Member-only private Facebook group. That's where you get to see me live. But these videos and all the information I talk about, they go over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day. Noon! So you can share with all your friends, regardless what business they're in. They're a butcher, they're a baker, they're a candlestick maker, they're a boutique hotel owner, a window washer, a car wash operator. Doesn't matter, whoever. We want to get everybody to the other side. Everybody. We're all taking you there. Okay? But I will be back here again tomorrow night live at 8 o'clock Eastern. We start every day and night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book. For those of you like Russ that had to limp here and didn't get here at the top of the program, our good morning tonight was good morning. You were lucky enough to wake up today, so come on, socks before shoes, let's go. Our good night tonight is good night. You were lucky enough to make it through the day today, so take it easy. Brush your teeth. Let's go. Look at the graphics today. That is our show tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow. Self-Care Sunday. I will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I will be back live at 8 o'clock Eastern because you, but most especially you, are not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.